Hello, it is a beautiful day out here today. We got some wind and it's blowing the leaves of the trees and it sounds absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to attempt to do another talking video. I hope this turns out a little better than the last one. Hopefully no finger action and too much shaking. If it is, I will try and prop it up against something so that it doesn't do that. But anywho, I thought I'd tell a little story of Luna's past today. So, let's go back to when Luna, when he fell off the bloody chair, when Luna was a young whippersnapper and she got up to some. So, Luna, she was 16 and she'd just left school. And she was looking for a job. So she went down the old job centre, the old job shop, with Mrs. Mum. And they turned round to Luna and said, "Oh, you can't sign on yet, you're too young." So I thought, what am I going to do? I need some money coming in. Because, Mum and Dad's not looking after me now. I've got to figure out how to look after myself. So they suggested going to a place called Connections. And I thought, I don't know, but I'll do it anyway. So, hang on, put my arm on here, try not to shake camera too much. So, I went to this place, called Connections. Oh my God, it was about as useful as trying to carry water in a bucket with holes in. I'm not going to use real names, by the way, because I'm pretty sure these people wouldn't appreciate it. So, Luna had this blonde-haired woman. She wasn't horrible. She was a very nice person, but she wasn't very good at her job, let's put it that way. So we go to all these places, trying to get Luna into some courses, try and get her on this benefit where she would have £30 a week coming in. Yeah, that was not too bad a pay back in those days. Will you stop doing that? Okay, I'm talking to myself now. I'm sorry if my speech is a bit slurred or a little bit slow. What with what's going on with Luna's burning head thing, it is making it difficult for her to talk now. But I am going to do my utmost. Anyway, back to what we was on. So, I went to all these places with her. And I think the one that sticks out the most was a place called the Welcome Hall. And I said to her before we went in, I said, I'm not being stubborn. I'm not trying to tell you that I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. I said, but this Welcome Hall, it's only for people who live in Devonport. It's not for people like me who live in Higher St. Budo. So we go in and there's this lovely African woman. And I'm talking away with her lovely. She's telling me about being an ex-lawyer, how she gave it up because she didn't want to do it anymore. It was too stressful. And I said to her, at the end of our lovely conversation, I said, can you tell this woman here that because I don't come from Devonport, I can't come here? And she looked at her and she said, I'm sorry, but she does have to be part of the Devonport area. So she wasn't impressed. Well, this is about as useful as this place called Connections was. They sent me to a college in town called Achievement Training. Now this place is for the peoples who have learning needs or extreme disabilities. So someone like me would not be allowed to go to this specific college. But for some reason I was granted entry. And I had a lovely woman in a wheelchair, a tutor, who had a horrible dislike for Luna. Now, Luna had done a year's worth of coursework in 2 days. And she thought that Luna was copying from somebody else. And I said to her, I said, what do you expect? I've not got learning needs, I'm not disabled. If you give me papers that say, how many times can you make 10? How many times can you go about buying a tube of toothpaste with only £20 in your pocket? How much is a bottle of shampoo? What do you expect? I'm going to do that in 5 seconds, not even that. So she ripped up all the coursework. I had to end up going and seeing the boss of the place, and they discovered that Luna doesn't have any disabilities. And what happened? Instead of them referring me back to Connections, the little sods used me as a teaching assistant. So Luna ended up having a nervous breakdown. She got up one morning and she thought, oh, I don't feel very well. I feel really sick. And before I left to go on the bus to get there, Luna had the squits, something terrific to go with it, and she was sweating and shaking. And I got upstairs after having a smoke before going in, and I'm sat there at a table and this tutor comes out and he says, you can't be doing that here, go to the bathroom. And I thought, oh, I can't even move. So he said to me, he said, look, go home, go to the doctors, you're not very well. So back then you could go to the doctors. So I come home, I had an emergency appointment, went to the doctors. My doctor said, oh, I've got to sign you off. You're having a nervous breakdown. If you stay there, you're going to end up in a mental institution. You can't cope. So I was signed off for that, and I thought, oh no, what am I going to do now? Because I've got no money coming in. That £30 going to stop now. So that's neither here nor there. But as Luna was in this place, she did make a friend. I'm not going to say her name. Respect here. We did make a friend, a 20-something-year-old woman. And she was about the best of the best there, because her disabilities was dyslexia. And I thought, finally, someone who, is mentally functioning. And I don't mean to be rude, I have no hate towards disabilities or anyone with disabilities. Luna has them. She is mental, she has depression and such. But it's that frustration of when you don't have learning needs or you're not severely disabled, you get frustrated because you just want to be around someone who thinks and behaves like you do. And what we're being used as a teaching assistant, that creates a lot of bad feelings and bad taste in your mouth. So what happened with this one is Luna, with her horrible, nasty parents, because they've always been horrible to her, always been abusive, and even to this day is still doing that and getting away with it. Luna finally had a break. Luna was able to escape. And Luna, apart from 1 day a week, would spend all her time living in a Victorian flat that had been cut into 2 pieces. We were on the bottom. I guess you call it a maisonette. When you got like the Victorian house and you have a flat on the top and a flat on the bottom. But we were on the bottom, and I used to go and stay with her all days of the week apart from a Sunday. And it was fucking fantastic, excuse my language. I was away from these nasty people, these horrible restrictions, the horrible name calling. Oh, it was absolutely fabulous. So we decided, I was in my mid-16s, and we decided that we, on the weekend, were gonna have a drink. And Luna done the stereotypical thing She went absolutely bloody bonkers. And she drank a huge jumbo bottle of Malibu. And I was absolutely hammered. A few mattresses to the wind, and we went out to go and have little walkies in town. So we're walking down to go into town from our flat, which wasn't too far away. And I don't know when, where, how, I have no idea. But we stood by this wall, because underneath was a railway, like a little trackway. So we stood there, and my mate says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm hungry, mate. I'm going to make an omelette." She said, "There's no oven, that's a wall." I said, "I'll make an omelette." She said, "Oh, you make an omelette, you need eggs." I said, "I've got one in my pocket." I pulled out 2 eggs, I started cracking it on the wall, and I had one of her spatulas. I was trying to make an omelette. She was absolutely dying. I don't even remember putting those eggs in my pocket or the spatula. So we continued walking, and we got outside the CFE college, and I had hold of one of these little bollards, and she said to me, "What are you doing now?" I said, "It's moving." She said, "It's not moving, it's you." I said, "It's moving, mate, it's moving." She said, "No, it's not, it's you. You're moving." So I thought, all right then, I'll let it go. So we're walking a little bit further, and then Luna falls down this humongous bank. I don't even know how I fell down there, but I was at the bottom. My mate's going, "You all right?" I'm going, "How did I get down here? I don't remember." She said, "You just fell down there." I said, "I don't remember." So, yeah, gets back up. All of a sudden, Luna with her old granny bladder. Because Luna's got bladder problem like an old person she's had from a child. She got to pee every 5 minutes. So, Luna decides she can't hold herself. She won't go pee. So we found a back alley, and Luna's not dirty. She always brings a bottle of water with her. And I whisked down me knickers and me tracky bottoms, because back then I used to wear tracky bottoms. And I went to go for pee-pee in the drain. And my mate, and this is late at night, by the way, this is like 12 at night. My mate says to me, quick, pull your trousers and pants up. There's a van coming." And I'm trying to pull my trousers and my gussets up. Oh, could I do it? I was swaying backwards and forwards. I was losing balance. I couldn't stand up. Oh my God. I ended up peeing down my leg. I ended up falling into a load of brambles and getting that stuck in my butt cheeks. And I managed to get up. And I'm swaying backwards and forwards. I can't pull my trousers and pants up. So she had to do it. She said, "For God's sake," she said, "come here." She pulled my trousers and pants back up for me. So, as we're going along, we decided to continue to walk for a bit. And then all of a sudden, Luna discovered what the term legless meant. She could not use her legs. They went like jelly. So her mate had to hold her up under her arms. She's going, "For God's sake, use your legs, walk." I still can't. It's like, I couldn't do it. It was like jelly. I was like, So we continue to walk up. We get outside the naval barracks, and there's a pub just outside, and there's all these naval lads, and they're going, "Hey, get on, girl, you fucking hammered." So Luna's like, you know, as you do when you're that drunk, making a boob of yourself. So we continue walking up, and I didn't know that a naval lass was following us. So we walked up, and Sophie got to the top of the hill, 5 minutes away from the flat, and blacked out, passed out in the rain on the pavement. So this naval lass, I don't know a whole lot about this. I had to take it from my friend what had happened. She apparently picked me up and carried me back to the flat, put me on a sofa, and put a blanket over me. And my mate said to me, she said, apparently I was kissing her, saying thank you, and I loved her. And before I passed out again on the sofa, apparently there was an interview with Vampire on, and Luna loves Lestat. Oh, she loved Lestat. Oh my God. So Luna starts snogging her TV, apparently, and then passed out again. And all I remember was waking up at some point and thinking, oh, I gotta honk, I gotta be sick, oh. And I end up sitting there, I'll run to the bathroom, I'll bleh, 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 bleh. So I get over that as a shower, because I'm all smothered in God knows what. And her mate decides she's going to have her boyfriend round. And I thought, oh, you're alright then. So I'm sitting there having a smoke. Mr. Boyfriend comes round. Oh my God, it was so bloody awkward. It was so bloody awkward. Oh my God. I was sitting there and he's looking at me, he's talking to me. He's a bit of a flirt, by the way. He was flirting with me while she was in the kitchen. And I thought, oh, don't you dare, mate. Don't you dare. And it got really bloody awkward. If I didn't feel bad enough as it was, this made me feel worse. As we were there, he was talking to me. He said, do you know what? In his words, I said, what? He said, I've only just met you, and I know more about you, and I'm having a better conversation with you than I do with my girlfriend. I thought, oh no, don't start this. So I'm laid there, and they go off into the bedroom. I can hear them having a portion. They're banging it out like a pro. I thought, oh, okay, I'll just go outside and have a smoke. Oh, I end up passing out again. We ended up taking a day off of college because I was not very well. But there you go. That is Luna's first drink sesh. Oh my God, what a boob. I can honestly say I have never drank like that since. I never in a million years want to taste Malibu ever again. And if Luna does get a few mattresses to the wind, she does it in her bedroom. So if she does make a boob of herself, no one sees it because it's late at night, early hours of the morning. It's only the animals. And they seem to find that quite amusing. So there you go. I thought I'd share some stories. I'm going to start doing a few more of these weird story departments. These weird story situations, if you will. And so on. I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm going to go on with the Prince videos. And I am going to attempt to try to write more of the story, irregardless of my situation right now with the brain department. And I am going to figure out how to do these videos a damn sight better, because I'm pretty sure I might have been skewed or this might be shaking a little bit, but I'm sorry, I've got no tripod that I can put this on, and I am in a bad state. I can't stop shaking or hold things straight at the minute. So I'm going to figure out how to go about making these a whole lot better. I'll probably go and do some research on Google camera techniques and angles and such. And if you're wondering why I am not showing my face, it's not because I don't want to show my ugly mug to you, because I don't give a stuff. I look like I look, and you know, it is what it is. But I am hiding my face away at the moment because I am really unwell. I am being left and abandoned by my doctors and family because they don't care, which hurts Luna a whole lot, because I'm not asking them to sort my problems out for me, not in the slightest, but a little bit of care and consideration, you know what I'm talking about, a little bit of like, are you alright, mate, or are you in pain, just something nice every so often, not every 5 minutes, just ask me how I'm doing. But nah, not in my household. We'll go about having a little airing the dirty laundry of the horrible parents department at some point, but I don't know when. I'm going to do my funny stories first. But yeah, I will do that. And I will get on and try my hardest to keep going with the channel. I'm just watching these hoverflies. They are absolutely beautiful. I don't know why it is. Oh, I can't speak. That's what's happening with this brain issue right now. I don't know what it is, what they're attracted to, but we get so many of these hoverflies. I'm sat in amongst them right now. It's beautiful. I love them. They're so cute. But there you go. I will probably put this up because it's getting to the time where Luna needs a bath and she's got to try and eat something. But that being said, I hope you all enjoy the story, irregardless of the bad cameras and the bad picturing and God knows what else Luna's doing. And I do love you all very much. And I cannot wait to share some more about Luna with you. If you'd like to hear that, let me know. Because I got a whole load of stories I can talk about. But that being said, I wish you all a wonderful day. And I love you all so very much. And I will see you later on the next post.